obviously we've got to clean up, but again, it's real competition is, hasn't been in these guys' body. There's butterflies and, wanting to perform, and it was enjoyable. Are they mute? I can't hear anybody.
They're muted, but we're waiting for them to raise their hand so I know who to unmute.
Oh.
Hey, there we go.
Hey, Coach, how's it going?
Good, Curt. How you doing?
I know, I guess you talked some, I guess, coming into the fall about your young arms and kind of being excited to see what they look like in a setting like this. I guess some of those guys, what are your impressions of them now coming out of fall, going into spring?
Yeah, we're really pleased with their progress. And, some guys tonight, didn't really react the way they had been. And that's the more times you can put them in that environment and those types of situations, the better they're going to be. But I think you saw, the strength of the arms that we ran out there. And unfortunately, there's 3 guys that we're counting on to do a lot of heavy lifting when it comes to the pitching side that, were a little bit tender, so we didn't use them. And, those are mid-90 arms and, can really pitch.
You have a lot of those power arms, but you also have Clayton and Jonah, who aren't the flashiest guys. But I mean, how important are they to your rotation?
Yeah, they're obviously in the mix. They're relievers. That's what they are. They're good at it. They've been through, the rigors of college season and tough environments. And I think both of them pitched in Omaha, and it's important. And they can teach those young pups an awful lot. And we're going to use a ton of guys. I can tell you that. With these big rosters that everybody has, we're going to try to keep guys fresh and sharp as well.
Hey, Coach, you talked about going into the fall, defense being such a point of focus for you guys. In general, how did you feel your team performed in the fall, focusing upon that? 2 errors today, but in general?
Yeah, had brain, he wasn't thinking, obviously, the Colton throwing down. And, that's again, he's a first-year guy that probably hasn't had his heart beating in a while, and that's things we've got to clean up. But defensively in general, I think we've improved throughout the fall. There's some things that we still want to clean up because we still have a little bit of time that we can do individual stuff with guys. So we're going to try to make change some arm slots in the infield, try to get a little bit more accuracy and tinker a little bit with those types of things.
Today seemed like a pretty special end to what's been a pretty special fall for a guy like Reese. I guess, how impressed have you been with him? And I know obviously he didn't get to kind of be a part of this time last year. How much do you think kind of a full healthy offseason will do for him in the season?
Yeah, the fall season, I don't think people emphasize it enough. The teaching times that you practices and how many times you can teach, and we're trying to do it right so many times you can't do it wrong. And people miss the fall, and you see it in the spring. And they're rusty, and it takes a while. This game's meant to be played every day. And Reese has done a great job of his leadership, and he's got a little pull muscle, and so when you strike out a couple times, hit a homer, it's one way you don't have to run.
Hey, Meat, I know you wanted to be more aggressive on the base paths as well, and this is year 2 of you guys implementing that style of aggressive ball. Just how do you feel like your team's adjusted this fall? I've seen you guys getting a little bit better at learning to run the base paths aggressively.
Yeah, we do. Again, that constant pressure that we're always, trying to implement and trying to, get through to them that, okay, there's going to be nights we got to play like this. There's going to be nights, you got to play like this. So you got to be multifaceted. And, we've got some guys who've got some feel on the base pass. And, the young pups have been better than expected. That is one area in, high school and travel ball they don't focus on is base running.
You spoke a lot last time we talked to you about Nelly and how much he surprised you with the bat, but how much have you seen him progress defensively behind the plate as well with that weight loss that he's had?
Yeah, he's definitely quicker. I think everybody can see it. He gets in the throwing position quicker. He's always had the fast arm, but the legs weren't ready. And now he's light on his feet and he's more agile. His hips have always been pretty good, but they're even better now. And the hips and the flexion and looseness you have in your hips is paramount to being a good catcher. And, he's played really well this fall.
As you guys wrap up fall, what's kind of your message to the guys? They're charged between now and you truly get back together as a team.
Yeah, of course, stay safe, do things that make sense. Right now we're books and bodies, and yeah, we're going to pull a couple guys, to tinker with some things, but it won't be long periods of time at all. We've got to make sure we're right in the classroom, and I want guys, to transform their bodies. I've seen it happen, and what they can do, in these 2 months before we come back is can make you or break you.
Yeah, Meat, as far as Parker goes, I know there's some talk to try and get him ready to be a potential weekend guy. How do you feel like he's handled that? And just, he's always had the mentality to be a guy that could be successful in the weekend rotation, but how have you seen him been committed to changing his body, changing just the way he pitches and being able to move into a premier spot?
He definitely can, and that is the plan. He's out of the personality mode of a Chase Haney. Things don't bother him. He says the right things. Guys enjoy being around him, and he's got premium stuff to go with it. So that is the plan, to slide him into a weekend spot, and he hasn't disappointed at all.
This will be the last one from Brett.
We've seen Nander only hit right-handed the last few weeks. Well, what went into that decision? Is that a permanent thing? And do you think him hitting only from one side of the plate can kind of clear up his head a little bit?
We do, and I actually got mad at him because he's never told me. I went to him, I said, Manny, what do you think about just going straight right-handed? And he says, yeah, I've thought about it, and I just started hitting left-handed in 2016. I'm like, son, you got to tell me those types of things, and I do think it is. You can be the jack of all trades, master of none, or just stay on one side. And there's a lot of people these days that are saying you're better off just go on one side, and the slider's the only pitch. You can work out that, then you should be fine. And he swung about well of late, straight right-handed.